Hello and welcome to episode 6 of How to Learn Anything, the show where I learn 2 unrelated skills from scratch and combine them in interesting and unconventional ways. During the show, we'll break down the process of learning cool stuff through bite-sized chunks of information provided by industry experts, my failure, and hopefully, my eventual success. I've always wanted to know at least one super cool dance move to throw down at the club. For this episode, we've decided to combine learning that move with a skill that makes doing anything you might do at the club super dangerous. Now that we've arrived at the base of Mt.Hood, we're going to attempt to summit the 11,000-foot mountain. If weather holds out, we don't fall into a crevice and we're able to get to the top, I will attempt to breakdance on its peak. Every day is leg day. This is how to breakdance on top of a mountain. How does one train to get to the top of a mountain?
So if one is training to get to the top of a mountain, it's going to involve all body strength. It's going to include arm strength, ab strength, lower body strength, glutes, thighs, especially legs, knees especially too, and mental as well. But to focus on the physical side, one thing I did personally, I was dragging a truck tire up my non-maintained dirt road. You gotta just be prepared for anything the mountain throws at you.
How long does it normally take to prep to climb a mountain?
I'd say about 6 months to a year, depending on the size of the mountain that you're going for.
We have 3.5 months to get in shape for this. Do you think that's gonna be enough, or do you think that's gonna be pretty tough?
Well, you better get going right now, I'd say.
After feeling the pressure from Jordan, I put together a workout schedule. Seeing as Lindsay, the director, is gonna be climbing with me, he came on board as well. Because I don't want to die, we chose Mt.Hood for its flat peak to dance on and recruited a mountain guide named David. But I'll get to that later. For now, it's time to get jacked. All right, it is now day 1 of training for this friggin' mountain climb. We're 100 meters into this first trail, and I'm already feeling pretty out of breath. I think we've got a long ways to go. In addition to hiking with weight for the first time that day, I thought I would see how good I was at breakdancing. The director thought I needed some help, so we met up with Sarah. Tell me something about breakdancing I probably don't know.
Well, it's actually called b-boying or b-girling, or breaking, but the media calls it breakdancing.
After meeting with Sarah and her showing me some sweet moves, I started practicing a bunch, met some other b-boys, kept working out, and dislocated my shoulder at Christmas. So I had to figure out a new dance to learn that didn't require the use of my arms and settled on tap dancing. What makes the difference between someone who is just like an average tap dancer and someone who is amazing at tap dancing?
It's the amount of dedication and practice you put into it. Also realizing you're never too good just to continue learning the basics. The more that you make sure like the foundation of your house is strong and secure, the better your house could be.
Can you tap dance to hip hop?
You absolutely can tap dance to hip hop.
Nice. If I wanted to get, pretty good in a 2-month span, what would I need to do to be able to get there?
You would have to practice every day, every single day.
No. Upon hearing the great news, Jason showed me the 4 basic moves that form the foundation of tap dancing. We practiced for a bit, had a dance off, and got to work.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. I mean, my job here is done practically.
While I was learning how to tap, Lindsay and I were slacking training for the climb. So we created a system where you'd have to give $5 to the other person for every day you miss a workout. It worked pretty well. It's been about a month since I dislocated my shoulder, and today is pretty much the first day that I feel like it's in good enough shape to do some hiking with some weight on it. After a few weeks of tapping, I learned a couple of things. First, tap dancing in the snow is super slippery, which makes it super difficult. And second, learning the moves is easy, making them sound good is the hard part. the more time I spent with Jason, the more the idea of focusing on the basics became solidified in my head. And instead of jumping right into the routine at the start of practice, I would spend 5 minutes working on the simple stuff. Which thankfully helped a ton, because by the time I got this drilled into my head, we had time for one last practice climb, claimed the spoils of the other person's laziness, and headed out on the trip down to Mt.Hood. Government camp just below Mt.Hood. We got here last night, and now we're just waiting for David, our mountain guide, to get here so we can head up the mountain.
We are at Timberline Lodge at about 5,800 feet at Mt.Hood, and we're getting ready for our climb tomorrow. Winter is definitely going to be here tomorrow. These are winter conditions, and it's going to be a pretty exciting day.
All right, let's try and climb this thing. It's been an hour and 20 minutes of hiking. We're like maybe a quarter of the way up, altitude-wise, and yeah, we got a lot of work to do. David, what do you think?
Weather looks not too bad as far as snow goes. The wind, I'm a little worried about the wind. Within the last 10 minutes. We've got visibility down to about 60 feet, which is not very far in a mountain. One of the things about learning how to climb a mountain is learning how to make smart decisions and getting down alive.
And that's how you knit a Canadian flag while hitchhiking?
So you can kind of tap dance halfway up Mt.Hood in a blizzard.
All right, as far as takeaways go for this episode, the first one is that if you want to get good at tap dancing, actually practice every day.
And the second thing is, training for a mountain climb sucks.
And the third one is, if nature wants to make things hilarious and hard for you, it will.